thanks for taking some time with me to talk about One Love, man. I saw the film last night. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when I was thinking about it, I was like, when I think of Bob Marley, I think about my dad, right? And my dad loved Bob Marley. My friends, I have a lot of friends who love Bob Marley. None of them have ever been to Jamaica. Yeah. Like never come close to Jamaica. But that's Bob Marley, right? Like his influence is global. Like everybody, all different walks of life, love Bob Marley. To me, that seems like it could be a lot of pressure to make that movie about a guy that's that beloved.
Yeah.
Did you feel that kind of pressure going into this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like you said, it's Bob. He's considered a prophet, and it's not something you really want to mess with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was a universal calling, I guess, if you will. The script came to me. I don't know why. But it did.
Why.
It was one of those things. And no, look, you don't know why these things happen, right? It's not often that you open your inbox and there's a Bob Marley script there for you.
True.
And so when that happened, I didn't actually want to open the script because I thought, well, I didn't know if it was real, in the sense that the movie would actually get made.
Right.
So I did some back channeling. I asked my agent to find out who was involved and who were the producers. And sure enough, Ziggy Marley was a producer on the film. And once I realized that was true, then I thought, okay, well, if the family's involved, then just maybe it was possible. And that was really the start. So my first call with the producers, Ziggy was on that call, and they had the rights to make the music. So I said, okay, well, I guess I should look at this script that's in my inbox. And the first script was written by Terrence Winter and Frankie Flowers. First drafts, or at least the first draft that I read. And it was a really good first step, but it felt like it needed some focus. More focus of what timeline we were going to focus on in Bob's life. There was just a lot of story, a lot of backstory, which, of course, I loved a lot of the things that we had to lose. They say you have to kill your darlings, and I think a lot of that, it just is too long. We needed to concentrate it in a 2 hour or 2.5 hour film. And so a big part of my job was to come in and really try to think about it as a writer first, and then where to start, which part of Bob's life we're going to focus on. And they had some of that in that first draft, but it needed some refinement. And so that was really the start to the journey for me. And the pressure was always there, but it was one of those things that they were going to make the movie with or without me. And then I thought, well, maybe I could actually do something different here. Maybe I could treat it a little differently. Maybe if I handle it with care, it could be done right. I think there's a tenderness to Bob, and and you want to take care of that. And so I thought, well, hopefully my personality lends itself to that. Hopefully my filmmaking lends itself to that. And let's just try. Why not? And so I felt like, now that you've seen the film, felt like a little boy in the film running from the fire. At some point I had to kind of stop and ask for that spiritual guidance. Look, I think Bob is with us, his music is with us, his family's with us, and they're saying, Ray, you're the filmmaker to make this. Okay, I have to trust and believe in them.
So, would you say that you kind of felt, I guess you would kind of have to, felt a connection with Bob Marley and kind of his message while making a film? Because his message is all over the movie too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Bob definitely spoke to me as a human being. I loved his music.
Yeah.
We grew up in a black household, so it was always around. And my dad was a musician, not by trade, but he definitely played. We had guitars all over the house. He named me Reinaldo Marcus Green after Marcus Garvey. So it was always like he had a revolutionary spirit. He named my brother after Che Guevara. So it was always around. But I didn't really know that much about Bob,
right?
To be honest. And of course, I knew he was from Jamaica, and knew he had some children, and I didn't go into the details. And the music is so uplifting for the most part that I never really analyzed the music or what he was singing for or where he was singing from until taking on this film,
Right.
and saying, okay, who is the man behind the T-shirts and the buttons and the bags, and like, who is that guy? And I just didn't know, and I thought, okay, well, that is interesting. I need to figure this out real quick, and that was part of the discovery process, was trying to figure out, like, who was the man when the interview shut off.
Yeah, one of the things I was thinking about was, when I was watching the movie and listening to the music, and I was realizing for the first time, really, I was listening to the words. Like, I got to hear the music. Like, the music is always in the background. You're always doing something with your friends, probably getting high or something, usually, something like that. But you watch the movie, you kind of really listen to the words. I think one of the things the movie does well is that it kind of encourages you to. I guess my question is, how difficult was it to kind of decide where the music was going to go, like, throughout the movie? Because, like, placement of these songs throughout the movie, because you got so much to choose from.
Yeah.
How was that process?
Well, we did have we had the rights to a certain amount of songs to use, so we knew that there were songs on that list that we had access to. And then obviously once we chose the timeline of 76 to 78, that really concentrated the bulk of the music.
Okay.
And I wanted the music to feel like organic to whatever space we were in. So if Bob, there are no bedroom tapes, at least, that are accessible to what Bob sounded like when he was creating in his bedroom. And so that felt like an opportunity to try to weave in organic performance, with Bob's voice. It is Bob's voice in the movie. That's who you hear singing. But, like, it is different when you're in a rehearsal space versus in in his bedroom, in a private space, versus a live recording. And so all of those recordings should feel organic to the storytelling, hopefully, that it doesn't feel like, wait, why does it sound like Bob is recording, but he's in his bedroom? Like, that's funky. It throws you out of the movie.
Yeah.
And so, I think, the script really dictated the music. And then we had opportunities for, non-diegetic and diegetic music to balance, and then score to supplement, sort of the moments where reggae doesn't necessarily elevate a moment cinematically. Like, reggae's cool and calm and chill. It doesn't always work in every situation.
Yeah.
So you have to, we had to offset some of that with some music composition.
Yeah. How much time did you get to spend in Jamaica?
It was my second time there. I did a show called Top Boy a few years ago. But yeah, I think we did a few recce's, and then we shot for 25 or 26 days. So we spent a good chunk of time there, man. It was a couple months really kind of getting it in, building, visiting all the sites that we, everywhere where Bob went. We recreated the National Heroes Park, and we recreated the concert scenes, and that was epic. And
how'd they treat you guys down there?
Oh man, the Jamaican people, man, they were not about to let us fail. They were like, no, this is our movie. Like, I felt like we had an entire nation lifting us up, really, truly, and it was cool, man. It was cool to have that kind of spiritual uplift, because Bob's a national hero. They don't want anybody coming in messing with Bob, and he's on murals. He's painted all over the. You go to Jamaica, he's everywhere, and so. But I felt very supported, obviously with the families involved, so I felt that support as well.
Talk to me about Kingsley Ben-Adir. I think he's fantastic in this. Talk to me about what you see in him that he embodies of Bob Marley, and why he was the perfect pick for this one.
Yeah, look, he's a really intelligent and, he's a really intelligent actor. He just had the ability, he had the it factor, he had all the qualities of what you want in diving into performance, and he committed himself to the craft in the same way that Bob, like they say, he didn't sleep, he just rested his eyes. Like, Kingsley went after this in a real way, and truly elevated the film because of his commitment to the craft. So, kudos. Hopefully we supported him with a great cast, Lashana, Michael Ward, Michael Gandolfini, Tosin Cole, Anthony Welsh. The list goes on, but tremendous actors.
I was at the premiere of I was at the premiere of Monsters and Men a few years ago, and I remember me and my buddy were watching it. I think it was at Sundance, and we were both who is this guy? We're impressed by your work on that. It seems like you've improved with every single movie.
Oh, thank you.
What have you learned from that movie going on through this one? Like, what have you learned?
I mean, you learn something from everyone. I mean, you know, obviously they keep getting bigger in scale, but it remains, you know, the heart of the film. It's all about the story, the storytelling, the pieces in front of and behind the camera. You know, it's like The Last Dance, you know, like, got to learn to pass the ball. It's very much a team sport, team effort. I love making movies. I love doing this. And Bob's, this is an important one for me, so I'm really excited that people get a chance to see it.
Well, man, I appreciate you taking a few minutes, man.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.